Are we going to get this major dump for Bitcoin all the way down to the 24,500 US dollars? Because everything in the charts is telling us exactly that at the moment. We are forming lower highs for Bitcoin, and we also can see we broke this symmetrical triangle towards the downside. But what if I told you that I found something in the chart that might tell us that we're going to see a turnaround exactly at the 26,100 US dollar level? I'm going to show you this very important line, and also we're going to look at some charts that might tell us what is going to happen in the immediate short term. But first of all, let's look at the price target from the symmetrical triangle with a breakout point exactly here at the levels of 27,700 US dollars. Then we can see our price target would be perfectly the 24,500 US dollars. And if we're going to turn on the VPVR, the volume price range, then we can see exactly at this level we have this point of control and also this major volume cluster. So yes, it perfectly makes sense that the price of Bitcoin comes all the way back down to retest these areas. But guys, what if I told you that we're going to see this massive turnaround and this pump coming back above this major trend lines? First of all, we're going to go to the dollar currency index, and yes, we saw this major pump for the dollar currency index, and then we reached this high. We saw this dump towards the downside, breaking this very important trend line and also the support box, which was previous resistance, and then we saw that the dollar currency index consolidated exactly in between this major support and resistance. But first of all, we can see that we are forming lower highs. We can also see something bullish on the dollar currency index. Yes, it has formed a double bottom. So if we're going to get this push even higher, this meaning that the dollar currency index goes up, we could expect that Bitcoin will go down and that we're going to reach the price target of the 24,500 US dollars. But if we're going to see that the dollar currency index will form a lower high, we could expect, yes, that we're going to get this major pump from this very important line. But before we're going to go over to the charts to find out what we could expect in the immediate short term and what is this major line that we have to look out for, guys, we're going to go over to the news. EU Finance Minister gives green light for MiCA crypto regulations. And yes, these major regulations in the EU are just going to cause major adoption for decentralization. And why is that? If we're going to get these major regulations, the people are going to find a way around the regulations, because the people are sick and tired of the monetary system, which is just going to print more money, and you're going to pay this major interest on the money that you're going to borrow, and you're going to pay tax on that money. And also with this major printing of currencies, they're also going to debase the value of the borrowed money that you're going to get. All of these regulations are not going to stop the crypto adoptions. And why? We're going to go over to the next news article. Bitcoin was 750 million withdrawn from Coinbase. So first of all, Coinbase has some major issues with the US government, because Coinbase wants to leave the US because of all of this regulatory uncertainty. And that's why we can see a lot of people withdrew all of their Bitcoin, which is very bullish for Bitcoin, because yes, if you deposit any kind of crypto on any centralized exchange, you are not certain that these exchanges will actually hold Bitcoin or buy these assets that you're holding on the exchange. So if you're going to withdraw 750 million in Bitcoin, then yes, Coinbase either has to move all of these Bitcoin out of cold storage, or they actually have to go on the market and buy the actual Bitcoin. And this is also good for decentralization. And why? Because a lot of people are withdrawing all of their cryptocurrencies from these major centralized exchanges and keeping them either on decentralized exchanges, or they are going to hold it in cold storage, which is also quite good. So this is also going to be very important for you, that you take all of your cryptocurrencies that you don't need to trade off the exchange and keep your long-term holding on a Ledger wallet or even on a Trust wallet on your mobile device. But guys, if we go over to the next news article, Lightning Labs unveils update protocol to address Bitcoin's BRC20 challenge. And yes, we can see BRC20 are like the ERC20 tokens and also the decentralized apps that are being built on the Ethereum network, that we're going to see the same on the Bitcoin network, and that is major bullish. Also for decentralization. And why? Yes, a lot of people will create tokens or even apps or decentralized apps on the Bitcoin network that will also be decentralized exchanges that you can use. And that's why all of these regulations are just going to drive the decentralized adoption and the real use case of Bitcoin. Because if we're going to look at the BRC20 tokens, guys, this could be a major opportunity for us. And make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe and activate the bell, because yes, I'm going to do a dedicated video about the BRC20 standard and also what it could mean for the whole Bitcoin network. Because yes, this could be like buying Bitcoin in the year 2013, because we are so early, and I think that a lot of decentralized apps and also tokens or maybe even stable coins will be built on the Bitcoin network. So make sure you're going to watch the video that I'm going to upload next. But let's go over to the weekly chart so that I can show you this very important line that Bitcoin needs to hold. First of all, on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, we can see we had this consolidation, major pump towards the upside, and at the moment we are also having this major consolidation. But what is the difference? Yes, we were underneath the 200 moving average where we saw this major pump towards the upside. So yes, this was the indication that we finally broke out from the bear market and that we could expect a major pump towards the upside. But at the moment we saw with this weekly candle, with the previous week, we saw that the price came all the way back down into the region of $26,100 and we got this perfect bounce on the 200 moving average and we closed the weekly candle above. So what is going to be very important for Bitcoin? Yes, we have to stay above the 200 moving average, because if the weekly candle closes underneath the 200 moving average, yes guys, we could expect a major consolidation before we're going to see this next major move towards the upside. So yes, if we're going to close this weekly candle above the 200 moving average, guys, I expect that we're going to see the price movement turn around in these regions and that we're going to get this massive pump towards the upside. Because yes, the 200 moving average is really going to give us the indication if we're going to continue with this bullish momentum or if we're going to see a consolidation and that the price movement stays underneath the 200 moving average before we're going to get this next leg up. But guys, let's go on the lower time frames to really find out what is going to happen in the immediate short term. So on the 4-hour chart, yes guys, we can see that the 200 moving average is roundabout in these areas, roundabout the $26,100, where we can see that the price movement came all the way back down and we closed this weekly candle above this level. So yes, this is going to be our level that Bitcoin really needs to hold. And yes, we could maybe see that in this week we're going to get this dump all the way back down into these regions, but the weekly candle is going to close back above this line. Because if we go over to the weekly chart once again, then we can see yes, we have 4 days and 9 hours left to close this weekly candle. So we could expect that the price comes all the way back to our price target and that we're going to close back above the 200 moving average. This is going to be very bullish for the price of Bitcoin, because yes, we would first of all form a higher low and close back above the 200 moving average, which would be extremely bullish for the price of Bitcoin. And we also could see that the price movement had a consolidation over the price and also over the time. So this could mean that yes, we could be ready for the next major move towards the upside, reaching our price levels of $34,000 for Bitcoin. But guys, let's go back on the 4-hour chart. Because yes, if Bitcoin comes down all the way to the 200 moving average and that we're going to get a bounce once again from the 200 moving average, then we could expect yes, this is going to be very bullish for the price movement of Bitcoin, because we would be forming a double bottom on the 4-hour chart, and this could mean a reversal and we could see this W and this breakout even higher with the first price target, this major resistance and also this trend line round about the $28,000 level, and then the next price target would be exactly at the 28,880, where we can see we had this downward sloping trend. And yes, if we're going to form higher highs for Bitcoin and also higher lows, we could expect this pump towards the upside. So it's really going to be important that Bitcoin is going to hold the level of $26,100, or that we are at least going to close the weekly candle back above this level. So before we're going to end the stream, let's go over to Ethereum, and yes, we can see that Ethereum also got this rejection round about the $1,839 level, where we can see we had this top of this major support box. So yes, the same thing is going to apply for Ethereum. If we're going to hold this level, we could expect that we're going to turn around in these regions, but maybe also we're going to see this wick all the way back down to this major trend line, and that Ethereum is going to close the weekly candle back above this major support. So yes, it is really going to be important what the dollar currency index is going to do. Are we going to form a lower high for the dollar currency index, or is the dollar currency index going to break this major resistance and we're going to see this dump for Bitcoin? And if you always want to stay up to date, make sure to go down in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group where I will keep you updated. And guys, make sure to be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.